Hey family, what's up? Welcome back to the Brandon Brews channel. I just got home. Today is Wednesday and tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So I wanted to do this video. Say hey to Jax. Jax. Look. Say hey. Say what's up. All right, so house is in disarray. My mama doing wreaths and all of that. And we just got our stuff in from the truck. I was semi OTR for 11 days because I wanted to be off Thanksgiving. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how the 11 days went versus being regional, coming home last weekend. I did not come home last weekend. And then we're going to talk about, I got a brand new truck, y'all. They gave me a brand new truck. 2024 Freightliner. I'm the first person to drive it. It had 59 miles. First person to sleep in it. First person to fart in it. Like all that. Let's talk about it. All right, so we're going to roll it back a little bit. Y'all know I'm excited. First of all, I'm grateful and thankful just to be home. Off the road. I made it home safe. We got the truck here safe. We got the cargo, whatever I was carrying is safe. So I just thank God for traveling grace and mercy. His blood covering, protecting, keeping me attentive, all of that good stuff. So I'm thankful. That's what I'm thankful for. So let's talk about how the week went. So I left. Let me look and see. One thing about what you will notice if you get into trucking, it is so easy to lose track of what day it is. Usually you know what time it is, but not the day. Okay, so today's the 22nd. I left the 13th. So the 13th I left. I think I talked to my fleet manager that Saturday, which would have been the 11th. And that's when I was thinking like, hey, what do you guys do for holiday? And he quickly told me that, well, wherever you are, it's kind of where you'll end up being for the holiday. And usually there's no freight going out or whatever because shippers and places are closed. So I was like, that means I'll be at a truck stop. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to go home. So we figured out a plan. I said, is it too late to say I want to go home? And then he was telling me that, well, if you do go home, I probably can't bring you out because there probably won't be any freight to bring you out. And I said, okay. So we came up with a plan that if I worked and stayed out 11 days, that I would get 3 days off. So I believe that is something standard. If you're out between like 11 and 15 days or 11 and 14 days, you get 3 days off. So that's what I decided to do at spare of the moment because, like I said, I got Jax with me, and you can hear him in the back playing with a toy. That's a pig. And, like, I was good. I had plenty of clothes on the truck. I had food on the truck. And I said, okay, let's knock it out. Because I get to have Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. And I thought it was a good thing. And to be honest, I'm going back Monday because it just worked so I can continue going back to my regional schedule. So that's what we did. I remember, I think on Monday I drove 500 miles. I drove 500 miles on Tuesday. And then it started getting a little shaky because some loads weren't ready and all of that. So I ended up driving like 200 miles that day. But I was very consistent. And all last week I drove 2,600 miles for the week. That might be the most I've driven. And if you watched the video before this, I think I told you that we were entertaining the idea of working and trying a dedicated route. So that's what I did last week. I was trying it, and it actually switched me from reefer to dry van. Let's talk about that. All right, so I started as a reefer driver. Jax, come on, I'm recording. Please. Thank you. He didn't start that until I pushed play. All right, so where was I? I started in reefer, and well, I trained on dry van. My trainer was a dry van person, OTR. Shout out to Nestor if you're watching or whatever. So I started out that way. So it was actually, I felt like, ooh, this is easy. Because if you know anything about reefer vans versus dry van, reefer, you have to do a few more things. You have to make sure your actual reefer is running, that it works, and that it is properly fueled. If you didn't know this, a reefer trailer, which carries food, anything that needs to be temperature controlled, that has its own engine. It has its own fuel tank. So you have to fill it with diesel when it needs it. And our rule at Rural, we don't bring shippers reefers no more than 3/4 full or full. It can't be below that. And how I know that, because I even went to a shipper and I knew that tank. Let me tell you, I knew that tank was just a little above the 3/4 mark. And I said, well, so what? Let's see what they say. And they was just like, yeah, your reefer is not where it needs to be. And I had to turn around. And so doing stuff like that, don't do that. But doing stuff like that will eat up your time. Like it took me like 15 minutes to get where I had to go get fuel and 15 minutes back. That's 30 minutes of time that I could have already been on the road because it was a drop-in hook. So don't be that person. And I only did it once. You do some stuff one time, you be like, okay, cool, I get it. So, but you have to make sure your reefer, actually make sure it's working. The first day on the job that I was by myself, I was picking up a reefer because we didn't have none at our yard. Picked that reefer up. And why did the reefer turn off? It turned off and threw an alarm and said it needed oil. I had never, first time I had ever touched a reefer trailer. So I had to call maintenance. Maintenance walked me through how to open it, where to put the oil. I had to do all of that. I became a mechanic. So reefer versus dry van, you ain't got all that because the dry van don't have that. And let's talk about cleaning a reefer trailer. Man, if you have not looked inside, I'm gonna have to give y'all a tour of what it looks like. But it has ridges in the floor versus a dry van that has a flat floor and it's wood. It's a wooden flat floor. So if you have to sweep out a dry van, you could just take a broom or take a leaf blower and just blow it out. But you can't do that with a reefer because you have all these nooks and crannies and grows inside the floor. So you got to be very particular. You got to get a toothbrush to get all that stuff out. Unless you get a trailer wash and they can power wash it out. So yeah, it's a lot. So not having to do that for the week, I'm going to honestly say it was cool for the first 2 days. But then I was just like, well, it really ain't that bad. I felt like, it wasn't really that bad. And then the tandems, moving tandems. Man, it's so easy to do it on the dry van. But when you do it on a reefer, you got the support of the trailer doing it for you. It's a button. That's how our trailers are. And I understand that dry vans can do the same thing. But our reefers have it's with the air pressure. You push the button, you pull a button, and it uses the air pressures to move the pins out of the way so you can slide the tandems. And unfortunately, I always get the trailers that want to be stubborn. It's either the shipper or whoever was loading or unloading the trailer just sucked out all the air with their forklifts trying to get unload and loaded, and that I have to take forever to get that pressure back so I can get those pins. Or if the shipper has really loaded this trailer and they loaded probably everything on the tandems, it takes a while to get those tandems to move. Like I've literally had to drive out of some places and drive 5 miles down the road and then try to slide the tandems. Like it's been that kind of thing. So it's interesting. But I think I created a method and I learned how to make it work for me. So, but dry van, you don't have to do that. We have the tandem arm release. You just pull it out and you get in there. You may have to jiggle sometimes, but it's like boop and you move. Now, what you have to remember, you have to get out and lock it back. Now, on the reefer side, you don't have to get back out because it will lock when you release the trailer brakes. It will lock, and then you can actually lock and make sure your pins are locked in from the truck. Now, you should go out and look and make sure those pins are in. Just letting you know. For those people who are testing and all, do everything by the book, because do everything by the book. I do get out and check my pins, just to let y'all know. But I know some people don't. I've seen and watched and seen people just take off, and I'm like, them pins are probably not even in. So you just never know. Just be safe. All right, so that was cool. I did a lot of driving, and that was cool. So let's get to the main part of what I'm talking about. OTR versus regional. So I never really have a problem. Like, it goes so fast. Like, when I'm out Monday, and if I got a load that's like 500 miles, 600 miles, cool. I'm plowing it out, and I don't realize I'm out 3-4 days until like Thursday. And then Friday comes, and then I'm about to go home. So I got used to that. And being out 11 days, when it came to about Wednesday, I was like, dang, I gotta go home next Wednesday. So it kind of felt like, this is weird. But as long as I kept driving and having things to do, I didn't feel like, oh, dang, I miss being home. So let me talk about this. By Monday, I was like, dang, I go home in 2 days. And I was like, dang, that came quick. And so it gave me a sense of like, dang, I could actually do OTR. Now, I'll say this. When it comes to OTR, I say you just need to be a balanced person. I get the point of being on the road for a month, or because you want to make money, and if you're supporting your family, I get it. But you got to know that being in that truck for just too long is not good for anybody. Like, if you've been doing it 30 years, like, for health reasons, and I can feel it. Like, when I drive a full day, like, my back starts hurting. Like, it's tension. Like, I'm tired. And even mentally, I can feel it. It's coming on. Like, okay, like, this is it. It's time to park. But can you imagine parking, laying down, and getting up and doing the same thing over and over and over for like 30 days? Like, for me, personally, this is my opinion. I know I like balance. And I know for me, there's more to my life than trucking. There's more to my life than just driving a truck. So for me, I don't mind. And I almost need to come home every weekend. Now, there are some times, like this time, it wasn't bad. I could do 11 days and be fine. Or I could work like Monday to Monday. I could do something like that and be fine, because I've done it before, so I know what to expect. And mentally, I was prepared because I'm trying to get Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. That's why I did this. But long term, I couldn't do it. Like, I'm a musician. When I come home, I literally do. When I'm at home between a weekend, I do go downstairs and get on my keyboard and play. Like, I like to do that. And even for Jack's sake, I know he want to get out of that truck. Like, he wants to get out sometimes. He's a dog. Like, being in, like, it can only be so big for him, even though he's a small dog. But even for me, like, the truck right now is not big. It is not big. But I said all that to say, this is even weird. When I get out of the truck, get in my car, and I get on the highway to drive home, I start seeing trucks. And for some reason, I want to get back in. Now, I don't know what that is. Call me crazy. But I feel like that. Like, when I see other trucks pass, I'm like, dang, I want to get back in. I want to go drive. I don't know what that is. But I'm glad I got it. I'm glad it's there, a desire to want to keep doing it. Because I really do like what I'm doing. So, but if you're thinking about going into trucking, I say start out, this is my opinion, I say start out regional. And if going home every weekend is too much for you, and you feel like, no, because I have had times when I come home, I'm like, dang, I could have just stayed on the road. But when I'm here, I get to regroup. Like I said, I have a whole house. I get to do the things I got to do to the house. I get to do laundry. I get to cook, because you can't really do all that on the truck. Like, you can do it at a truck stop. You can do it at the terminal. But I feel like for the human person, that you need a reset from being in that confined space. And I could never see myself being in there for a month unless I really had to. If I didn't have a place to stay, then I probably would, that I just have to make it happen. But even in this, like I've said in one of my other videos, that I want to try my best to even like plan out, like when I know I'm going to be somewhere and I got to sit for 24 hours, get out of the truck, go Uber somewhere, go take a lift, like enjoy life outside of that. It's not saying I'm trying to get rid of it, but it's saying be balanced. Because what I don't want to happen, I don't want my legs locking up. I don't want I don't want to be limping. And I'm making it even my point, like when I have Jax with me, go take him on a walk. Like we could do a 2-mile, 3-mile walk. Like that ain't nothing. So at least we're getting fresh air. We're getting out. We're not sitting all the day. Like it's one thing to sit down all day and then to get in the back of the truck and sit down. Like that's screaming, yeah, arthritis. That's screaming tense muscles. That's screaming like, and I'm an active person naturally. Like before I started trucking, I was in the gym 3 to 5 days a week. I would get up at 4:30, go to the gym, come back, work from home from 6:30 to 3. Like I was on it. And I'm still trying to figure out my schedule. I think I'm gonna put some weights and stuff on the truck. But I think the biggest thing I just want to say is just have balance. You don't have to go out there trying to be a super trucker and trying to prove yourself to let people know that I can drive and I can drive forever. I don't have to stop. I don't have to do it. Nah, don't do that. Everybody is different. And moral of the story, I want you to be safe. Rail wants you to be safe. Your family wants you to be safe. Your kids, your wife, your husband, everybody wants you to be safe. So do not get on that road trying to prove yourself to people. I can stay out the longest. No. Get your ego together. Get your pride together. You do not have to do any of that. You do not. Rail specifically wants you to be safe. That's why they have the Safe 7. They want you to be safe. If you don't feel up to it, and I even heard a trainer say this, and I can repeat it because I feel it. Like they kind of really project that. If you're not good and you don't have a good headspace and you're not feeling it that day, let them know. We don't need you on the road with that mindset. Like we need you to be on 100. And when you drive a semi-truck, you have to be on 100. You have to constantly be aware, know what's happening, looking around. You cannot be off. You cannot. Because being off for a minute or 30 seconds could kill somebody. It could kill you. Like, you just got to be with it. So I encourage you, even for drivers who are already driving, y'all got years in, just think about it. Like, if you know you always inside that truck, like, take time away. Like, create some boundaries. Like, balance it out. And I understand the way we live in, like, freight is low, money is weird. It's hard sometimes to not work a day. But do it for your health and for your life. Like, take a day off. Go on vacation. I remember somebody told me a story about, he was a truck driver. He had driven for 30 years, and him and his wife never went on vacation. And he decided to retire. He finally retired, and they were supposed to go on a trip. The following day, the man died. He had a heart attack. And, I mean, she got all the money that, I mean, he's built up and all of that, but she doesn't have a husband. So you have, like, just remember to create balance. And what's crazy is I'm seeing this stuff coming into it. Like, I haven't been doing this for long, but like I said, I just try to live my life balanced, not doing too much of this, not doing too much of that. But like I said, there's so many avenues of my life, like, that I'm a part of and that I don't want to lose. Now, I will say, yes, trucking is more than just a career. It is a lifestyle. But even in that, create balance. All right, I don't want this video being that long. I didn't even know I was coming at y'all like that, but I had just walked in the door and I had that, like, on my heart that I wanted to share. But check it out right now. I'm putting a picture up, putting a little video up. I got a brand new 2024 Freightliner Cascadia. Man, it blew me away. So what happened was I found out they sold my truck. And my truck was a 2021. I'll post another picture here, let you see. 2021 Freightliner Cascadia. It had 400. When I got it, it had 410,000 miles on it. And when I gave it back to him, it had 433,000 miles. So your boy's been driving. I haven't been playing. So I was just getting adjusted to it because, you know, like for me, every vehicle I drive, like I could drive a 3-cylinder turbo or whatever. And I just like to get in tune with the engine, with the car to see, okay, this is what you do with this car. This is how you turn it. This is how you upshift it, downshift it. You learn all those things. And I was just learning all that stuff with my truck. And because we were in West Virginia last week, y'all. I was up and down mountains, going up. I had like 43,000 pounds in the box, going up, going down, curving. And boy, like that thing, woo. All I'm gonna say is I wish I had this truck when I was in West Virginia because, man, driving that thing is like butter. Like, I literally probably can drive it with my pinky. Like, the steering is just like perfect. Backing, it doesn't judder. It doesn't, it's like the perfect truck. Mind you, it's brand new, but I'm excited, y'all. I drove it home today from Wisconsin and I was just like, dang, it makes me want to drive. Like, literally, it makes me want to drive. Smell new. Yeah, like I said, I'm the only person that slept in it. Like, I took the plastic off the mattress. And, yeah. So, before y'all start asking me how you get a new truck, I don't know. Like, I'm going to just count it as God's favor. And, yeah, I don't know. Like, they said bring the old one in. And I thought I was going to get something like, I'm thinking about like, hopefully they give me, I want to see how international drives. Hopefully they give me like 133,000, 233. I'm thinking like that. Like they'll give me some in that range so I don't have to swap it out so much. And they're like, no, yeah, we got you a brand new 2024. And I'm like, what? What? Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I will do a truck tour when I get back in the truck, when I set it up. I'm still setting it up because I kind of just threw everything in because I was trying to, when you move trucks, it's not easy. Like one of my friends, he told me, he said, put them passenger doors together so you can step up and move over, step up. It was a lot. It probably took about an hour and a half to 2 hours. That's how long it took. But I don't want this video being extra long. I just wanted to talk to you guys. And hopefully, I'm going to try my best to put this video out tonight. If I can put it out tonight. But then I'm going to have to backtrack because I got some other videos for y'all. But if you're watching this, I just want you to have a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. Hopefully, you're spending it with some loved ones, with some friends. Or even if you're spending it alone. Hey, cherish the moment. Be thankful and do your thing. Okay, because I'm probably going to be by myself because my mama is working. Me and Jax is here, and we may go to the grocery store in the first place. We might go to the grocery store in a second. I may cook some. I may not. But I'll be back. Be blessed.